Hey everyone, this is Zeffy. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Zeffy back for another tri-weekly Kingdom Hearts card review. We're on week 6, and for the tri-weekly review this time I'm going to be doing Neverland Level 2 from the new set Light and Darkness. Neverland, it reads, you may choose one Peter Pan card from your deck and reveal it. If you do so, put that card into your hand and then shuffle your deck. It's also a dark no limit. Any number of dark cards might be played here, so it definitely has two things going on for it. The super positive is you can get any level of Peter Pan out on the field that you want. The severe drawback though is that it's dark no limit, so they can put 4 Heartless on there if they want. I mean, that's just not good. So you really got to be cautious in running this card. A lot of these like world cards and a lot of the cards coming out in the new set, there's a lot of search power. There's a lot of there's better support for World Rush decks than there used to be. They're still kind of fighting a uphill battle, but there is a little bit more flexibility when I kind of take a second glance, and kind of think about it a little more. I'm always kind of beaten up on the World Rush deck, and I always kind of not a big fan of that playstyle. But you got to really be objective, and you got to look at, when I'm constructing my World Rush deck, what am I focusing on? What is going to give me the most strategic advantage as I go from world to world to world, and also keep in mind when I get to those higher level number of worlds, what am I going to be dealing with? What will I have in my arsenal to answer and call back to that? So you want to consider that in running your world cards. Sure, Neverland Level 2, it's dark no limit, but they're not always going to have 4 or 5 Heartless in their hand that they're just going to be able to throw it. Of course, it could happen, but you also have to think, well, if that's what they have in their hand, they're not going to have much else either to do anything with. So, it could potentially balance out sometimes. So just be aware of that. But you run Peter Pan, you run, Hercules and Beast and different friend cards that'll help you in the World Rush, style. And you have, we have the King now, which came out, which lets you get any card you want. So that definitely will support any deck type you're playing. Doesn't matter. So just keep all that in mind. And again, you want to go back to the understanding that when what worlds do you want to run now? There's more options than there used to be. It's not just Traverse Town level 3, End of the World, and a couple level 2s. No, now it's like, hey, you have an array of options. What can you really make to work with fantastic synergy? To be more fluid. A world's going to be a world. They could put Heartless on it, on their turn. That's always going to it's always going to be that way in this game, no matter what you do. But what can you do to minimize the aggravation of trying to fight through that and get to 13 and maximize your advantage on the board in your cards in your hand, and advantage by what worlds you have played out to maintain your lead and be able to break through and get to 13 before they either A, if they're world rushing, they go first to 13, or B, if they're aggro or some kind of control or balance deck, that they don't take your HP down to 0 before that, or stall you to the point that you're going through your deck twice just to get to options again, which can be really methodical, slow, and aggravating. You could lose by then. You may be able to come back and win, but it's going to be an uphill battle, so you don't want to be dealing with that. So look at these cards, study them carefully, play test them, look at what gives you great advantage, what gives you a solid advantage, what really gives you a pivotal role on the board to be a good contender in versus any deck type, even the dark deck type you want to look out for. And just kind of keep that all in mind in building your deck and what worlds you're playing. Maybe it's time to crack out those old World Rush cards, those world cards, and start running them again and seeing what's going on in the format and all the changes that are coming about. So that's maybe something I myself will consider. And if you've been running World Rush all this time, well, then it's time to reformat, rethink your strategy, and build something different, new, unique, and better, hopefully, and go from there. Alright, thanks guys.